Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the OSC News and Highlights Show. It's been a long time. Our last show was on June the 12th, so it's been quite a few months. But with me always is Eddie from OSC, and then joining us for today we have Demi, Varun, and then we have LordTv from LordTv. How are we doing, guys?
Awesome.
Pretty good.
Thank you. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm sorry about no cam. It seems to have died on me last second.
It's all right, man. Shit happens. We just gotta, roll with the punches,
Yeah, we'll roll with this picture. It served me well for like 8 years or something.
Yeah,
so
literally
I think
forever.
people will know who's talking.
Literally forever, man. Yeah. So yeah, we got quite a few topics to cover today, and we'll just get going right away. For myself, Eddie, as you know, we picked up Zest, picked up Cham. Thank you, by the way. We appreciate working with you on that to make sure that the transition was smooth. Yeah, everything's going great. Happy to, kind of be, I don't know, like a real team, I guess you could say. I don't know. It went from kind of being like a casual team to a real team, so that was kind of cool.
It must be nice having someone like Zest, like your very first player at BlizzCon, and
Yeah.
then Cham has been killing it in online tournaments.
Yeah, it feels really good, and we have a couple events still this year. So, we've got BlizzCon, and then like we were just talking earlier, Zest will be going to Home Story Cup, which is very cool. Cham will be going to like Cheesadelphia, and there's still a couple other like Kings of the North up in Toronto he'll go to. So we've still got quite a few StarCraft tournaments for the players this year. So I'm excited about that. And then we've got a couple other teams too. We've got Here's the Storm team that just qualified for HGC Pro League. So that's kind of cool. And then we'll be down at next month at DreamHack Atlanta for the Brawlhalla Finals. So that's like a $100,000 prize pool. So that's pretty cool. And then we also have a Hearthstone player. So we kind of just a little bit of everything.
Yeah, things are moving quickly. Yeah, certainly big time now, eh? Fantastic.
I don't know about big time, but bigger than I was. So I won't ever forget where I came from, though.
How does I'm a bit unfamiliar with it, but how does the Heroes work? Is it like offline sort of big circuit or?
Yeah, so the way they do it is like they have, I actually really like their system. So basically for like the first like 3 months, there's matches every weekend, right? Saturday and Sunday. You play one match on Saturday, you have one match on Sunday. And what's cool is the Hero stream just doesn't go down. It goes Korea, and as soon as Korea's done, it goes right into the Europe stream. There might be like an hour or two delay, but they leave the stream up the whole time. So like the viewership like really carries over. So for those fans, like if you like watching that, like you can watch Korea, and then it transitions right into Europe, and then it transitions right into NA. And it's every week, and they go into a playoffs, and then they go into like I think the first one is like the Eastern Clash, so it's where they just all meet up at LAN, and then they do like a playoff bracket, and then go from there. So it's
cool.
a pretty
It's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
I think that's what Blizzard have tried to dump for WCS, where you've got EU going straight into NA with
Right.
limited downtime between. Makes sense, obviously, same casters, but yeah, to maintain the audience, it's a good way to do things.
Yeah, I just like that system because it's weekly, so it's really good for just viewership, and like consistently like having your team on stream and stuff. So I like that part of it.
Very good. And how goes the BlizzCon preparations for Zest?
Pretty good. We've been keeping it pretty low key. He's just basically just practicing. We're working on some stuff. Not a whole lot else going on really. He's one of those people where I obviously don't need to tell him what to work on. Like he knows it pretty well himself. So it's more like he just keeps me informed with what he's working on. So, but in Zest we trust,
Indeed.
So he's got a tough group, but I think he can get out.
What's his group again?
We are going to cover it here in a little bit, but it's Serral, SOS, and Hero Marine.
Okay.
Well, there's no easy games at BlizzCon.
Yeah. It is the best of the best, so it is what it is. But anyway, enough about me. The show's it's not about me. It's really about you guys and StarCraft in general. So Demi, what's going on with you? I know you were on ES Champ talking about living in Korea and stuff. What was going on?
Yeah. I was just giving them a rundown on how I spent my time in Korea and how, practicing on the Korean server with zero ping was for me.
Hmm.
As someone who's coming from India, we don't really have a local server to play on. We always have to play cross server to practice. So, like when I first got there to Korea, I played a bunch of online games and I almost wanted to cry because it's like, I'm finally playing a game where I'm not being flamed for making my opponent play on like 300 ping or like 250 ping.
Right.
So yeah,
Oh,
it was a yeah.
oh, very cool. Yeah, it's something. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting out there myself and kind of just experiencing it for myself here at some point. But speaking of just of India in general, so we just had DreamHack Mumbai announced here, not too
Mhm.
long ago. And from what we know, there probably won't be any StarCraft, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a bummer, but looks like they do have a couple other things going. Looks like CS:GO maybe. Looks like they have some mobile games. So there's still some fun stuff there for that. Now is this the first time DreamHack's come to India? Do you know?
Yeah, I think this is the first time a huge tournament organization is hosting that tournament in India. I mean, it's pretty amazing
Yeah.
for Indian esports in general. And it's also going to be a huge motivator for all the Indian CSGO and Dota 2 teams to practice just as hard to, get themselves there. So I
Right.
think that's pretty cool.
No, absolutely. Anything? Do you think this is like the gateway for like esports in India really like to open up?
Yeah, for sure. I also think, a couple of years back we had a disaster of a tournament where the organizers, basically they promised a huge prize pool, but when some of the international teams came from abroad, they basically said, "Oh, sorry guys, our sponsors bailed on us." The tournament still happened, and some of the foreign teams lawyered up, so they had to pay. So I don't know if they ever got the money or not, but DreamHack Mumbai is pretty huge for the country in general. Yeah.
Yeah. No, very cool. I think it means a lot of good things coming up here. And then Lord, how are things going for you? Yeah, you're running the Blazer Opens. I mean, I feel like you've been getting a lot of traction as of late. I mean, you've been doing it for a while, but I feel like it's been growing pretty rapidly.
Yeah, exactly. So it's all started. Maybe I will first of all say how I started my esport adventure.
Mm.
I think it was started in the 2013 when first time I was big tournament in Poland. It was IM in Katowice, so it was the biggest event in Poland. And first time I cannot be there because my parents say I cannot be. I'm too young for this
Right.
event. So, but they promised me I can go in the next year, and that's what happened. Yeah, and I go and I was waiting 7 hours in the queue to come in, and I just fell in love. It was something amazing, and that's how it started. And I wanted to be a part of it. And how I started playing StarCraft, this is, I think, pretty good history. My father bought a computer when I was maybe 5 years old, 6 years old. And when he bought this computer, he got a game with this PC. He got a StarCraft Brood War. And these times I didn't understand what's going on in this game. It's hard. It was in English. What is English? I didn't understand any words. So
Right.
yeah, and my father exchanged this game. He gave StarCraft to my uncle, and exchanged to the shooter game. So yeah, and after a few years, I comes into my uncle, and somehow I find this game, and I was playing this game. Yeah, I remember something. Yeah, can I got it? Yeah, for sure. And I installed this game. Oh yeah, I remember something. It's pretty good. Yeah, I think if I will play it these times and my father will not exchange this game and I still playing and I will, yeah, you know what I mean. And I was playing So I think I will be very good player and I will be pro today, but unfortunately I didn't play then.
Right.
And I started play. Yeah, after I got this game from my uncle, and it's pretty good game. So I started reading, and there is a StarCraft 2. Right, let's buy it. Let's try it, and I started playing. And in the next year, in the IM, I found a StarCraft game. So I just watching this game, and it was amazing for me. And biggest change for me before I start my organization for StarCraft, it was event in Krakow. It was very big. It was World Championship Series when Mana go to the final. Yeah, but he lost with Lilbo. Yeah, he beat 4GG. I think 3-1. It was something amazing. People was rising him on hands. Yeah, it's awesome crowd. Yeah, and I went to the computer shop with my friend, and we was talking. Oh, let's make an organization. First time it was about connect YouTubers to the one organization, something like this. But one day, maybe we can go to the esport. Let's go first tournament for StarCraft. Yeah. We was talking, yeah, and most of people like to talk, yeah, and what can they do, but they don't do it, yeah, and
Right.
they can, but I am a man who, there's idea and let's try it. Even if we fail, let's try it, and I go for it, yeah, and we started. He gave $3. I gave $3, and we make first tournament for $6. And when we announced this, and people were saying, we don't take money like this from this. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Right.
How to say that? Yeah, and they're not picking this money even from the floor. Yeah, so, but they was playing for fun. Yeah, and they
Right.
played. It was in passive card, so it was funny, and people didn't believe in us so much, but we didn't stop. And the hardest thing it was to find the sponsors. First sponsors, it was Macharino, so who sponsor today OSC. They gave me opportunity to create StarCraft tournament, and it was pretty good. We made first time show match with Chu and Soul. And we didn't have much viewers, but we didn't give up. So, all right, we failed. No problem. Let's go with the next tournament. Let's try it.
Right.
So we made a second tournament, Blazer Open, for $50. Yeah, and it was successful for us. It was a big step forward, and OSC joined to us. Eddie helped us a lot, I think, for sure. He gave us opportunity too, and we have some viewers and we like that, and let's do it more, and we're making, yeah. And today, yesterday was a final of Blazer Open 7, where was prize pool $700. For me, maybe it's not big if you compare to this other tournament, but for me personally, it's a big step forward, and this is a big success for me.
No, absolutely. I think that's a good thing for those that are looking to get into into StarCraft more or into esports in general. You have to start somewhere, right? Like you have to find something that you're passionate about and start there, but don't be afraid to fail because you learn from your failures. Because like Lord never gave up, like things got rough for me when I was doing my talk show, and now I've transitioned and I'm doing much better, and I'm way happier than I was before. So sometimes you just kind of need to like just keep doing it to find out like where you're supposed to be at, right? Like what you're supposed to be doing. So, it's like as a whole, it's like, oh, well, I want to be in esports, but there's so many different avenues. Do you want to be a content creator? Do you want to be a tournament organizer? Do you want to be a team? And the only thing stopping you from doing any of that is yourself. So,
yeah, it's a great story of persistence. Very impressive. This last cup just the other day was really great playoffs, and $700, as you say, it's quite quite a good tournament. Top players, good viewership. I think now it's casted on quite a few languages. Yeah, very successful. So what's next?
What's next? This is an important question, I think. We would like to make more and more tournaments. Of course, in my dream is to make something like DreamHack. Yeah, this is the biggest dream, I think. Something like this. Right now, we in the 17 exactly, joined to us for some time Linok. Yeah, Linok was helping us to get some sponsors. Even for him, I didn't able to find. Even it is so hard because investors not much believe in StarCraft much, and that's how it started. But I think it's one of the most stable game and have massive viewers. But anyway, like I said, I didn't give up, and right now I didn't announcement yet. But this is not officially. But we're going to take Bunny, Korean Bunny, to our team.
Wow.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so we're going to pro team. I think this was my dream too. So go for it, and yeah.
Oh, very cool. Congratulations. It's funny as I was actually talking to him like 20 minutes ago. And he's like, no, I'm already going with the team. I was like, all right, cool. That's awesome. So now I know who he went with. That's awesome, man. Congrats.
Sorry for my cousin.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, sorry. I'm in the grandpa house. Yeah, so.
No worries. Man.
Yeah.
But congrats. That's seriously awesome. I think having a Korean player on your team is great. So who's all on the Blazer team right now? Because it's Guru, right?
Sorry for that.
Okay.
I don't know if you hear that exactly. But all right. Could you repeat the question?
Oh, I was just saying. So who's all on the roster now, including Bunny now? So it's Bunny, and then who else is on the roster?
Roster. It's Guru in the roster, but Guru. Yeah, exactly. He joined a few days ago. Yeah, some days ago. So Adagramus, Jomek, I don't know. He played tournaments a lot in the OSC, but we have around 100 players in the clan. Yeah, so
Right.
it's
Ton of
good.
talent.
And Marsman, we have good Marsman too. Yeah.
Right. No, that's awesome. I think that's a huge step. Now you'll have someone representing you for hopefully GSL. You have someone for you for WCS for and Guru. So I think that's cool. That's good progress.
I think so too.
Congratulations. Bunny's a very serviceable player. He's very consistent. He'll give you good recognition.
Yeah. One thing
you mentioned.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I was just going to say, you mentioned how big your actual clan is. I think that sort of resonates with your tournaments. There's always so much participation and interest from the Polish community. In actual fact, looking at the stats, probably including these tournament results, Poland is the second highest participating country this year in OSC partnered events. So it's a huge StarCraft community in Poland, is it?
Yeah, exactly. Is it? We have a great community, very funny. We have a lot of tournaments in Poland. For example, student academy, we have a tournament for students. Yeah, sponsored by T-Mobile, and we have a STK. This is, I think, the most funny tournament in Poland. I think I cannot expand title of this STK because there is a very bad word in Poland. Yeah, exactly. Very bad word.
The qualifier for that's actually being played now, so it's a bit serious.
Exactly. So if somebody would like to watch, go for it. Probably they're making all the time for every event. They're making a special intro with a very. You probably don't understand. Will not understand that, but it's so fun. Yeah, exactly. And Polish community is very big. I think one of the biggest in Europe. For example, we made flags, Polish flags. When you see Interactive Master in Poland, you can see a Polish flags. So they're making crowdfunding for an event, and right, we need flags. Let's go for it. Let's make crowdfunding for that. And they're making flags. They're making and they're showing that. Yeah, so pretty good. We have our own forum, yeah, so for StarCraft community.
Awesome. And the top talent is elite as well. So many of the top foreigners, like you got a Laser, Nocio, Sol.
Yeah, we have great players.
There's a good
yeah.
8 to 10 really top players, which I think
Yeah.
maybe helps the depth of the scene as well.
Yeah, exactly.
No, very cool. Like I said, I think it's awesome that you guys are, putting that together and then, just making it work, right? Like
We know
advancing.
each other. Most of community know each other, and this is fantastic. Yeah. So.
I think that's sort of where Isolate has started too, and Demi can attest to this. Like the C community is quite close, and you build your sort of network there, you build your foundation like you're doing in Poland, and then you bring in other communities and you grow together, and the communities just interact, and just growth. That's the way to do it. So yeah, it's a really good foundation you've got.
Yeah, I feel like everyone in Southeast Asia and Australia, there's not a person that nobody knows. I think we all know each other. We all get along with each other. We're all friendly with each other. And so, yeah, I guess that's how close us the scene really is. It's a shame we don't have any new blood coming into the scene, but, it would be nice, though, if we had more players, but...
There is a few, but yeah, I'm thinking guys like Pig Jr., Fuely, some recent names.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, just speaking of the C region, we did have the Sydney Stim Pack, which was the first of its. That was the first one, right?
Yep.
Yes. So this was a LAN event that Hut organised. You might know him as one of the best in the region, a Terran player. He's been playing forever. He's qualified for WCS a few times, another WESG, those sort of things. Just wanted to put on his own LAN tournament in Sydney at a big internet cafe. It's quite a good turnout. We had a few of the OSC elite guys there. I went up myself up from Melbourne for the weekend. It was really good fun. Great effort by Hut.
Did you play, Eddie?
Yeah, I did play. I had a pretty easy group. I had Pig, Seether, and Vivid.
Oh, so you won, right? You got out first place.
Yeah, I ended up just playing random against all the guys. Bit of fun. But my playing days are well behind me. It's fair to say.
I'm right there with you. I just play for fun now. I don't even try anymore. I'm just like, I'll just do something weird and hope for the best. That's good enough for me.
Yeah, there was a lot of close series between the guys that attended. Probe, the favourite, did end up winning, but we had Igers come second. Peppy had a really good run. He's a name maybe some international players don't know. He's a really he's been playing forever, but he's improving steadily to become one of the top Zergs in the region. It's fair to say. He also does some great work with OSC. He runs the team championship, so he's quite a dedicated person to StarCraft, quite talented. We had Vivid attend as well as who else did we have?
It looks like you get Ice.
Ice. Yeah, Ice came up from Adelaide. So that was great to see him as well. Yeah.
So nice.
And met some fans, took some pictures, did a few giveaways, sold a few little bits of gear. So it was quite successful and just fun to see everyone really from all the teams and fans and stuff. That's sort of just the LAN atmosphere, and then go out for dinner and drinks. Can't go wrong.
No, absolutely.
And unfortunately, the visa man got to Demi again. That really sucked. But
every time.
Every time.
So what? Oh, this time it was something different though. Like you could have gone, but it wasn't. It like your passport was like. Was there something wrong with the passport this time?
Oh well, they basically said my visa was different. My visa's a bit different, so they said like 90 days from when I entered the country. So my visa got over in August, and I had no idea because when I asked the travel agency, they told me it's okay to fly, and then when I go to the airport, they tell me I can't. So It's much better than going to Australia and getting deported. That would have been really weird.
Right. At least you were just like you were still at home, basically. Just like, okay, well, this sucks, but yeah, it could have been worse.
Yeah.
So every time, man. Well, that's all right. You'll get it to work eventually, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does suck. Like I wouldn't have known either. You got a 12-month visa. You figure you
Right.
should be right to go, but
Right. That's I'll say the one thing about the U.S. It's nice, like getting our passports, and like you're just kind of free just to go. Like it's pretty easy just to go about just anywhere. So that is the one nice thing about being here. But anyway, just moving on. WCS Signature Series is back. We've released quite a few episodes so far. They've had Rogue, Special, Cyril, and I feel like one more.
They didn't have Cyril at all. I think they had Rogue, they had Special, and Maru.
Are you sure, or was the Cyril one from before? There was
I don't
definitely
think
there was definitely a Cyril video.
Are you sure? Because I don't recall Cyril having a video at all. I'm pretty sure that was for IEM Pyeongchang. Because I remember that.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking of, and someone just like linked it for that. I think you might be right. Okay, my bad. You're right. Okay.
I hope they do one on Lambo. Like, I'm really looking forward to ones on Cyril, Lambo, and I guess that's about it.
Yeah, I mean they're all
Maybe
super,
Hero Marine.
they're all super well
Maybe
put
him-
together. I mean, I like watching all of them just to learn more about the players and like the backstory and everything. Mario's made me sad. Like I didn't have any friends and I didn't talk to anyone, and it's like, oh god, this is just just depressing, Mario. Like, okay, and then but then he's like, and then I made friends and everyone helped me. It's like, okay, it had a happy ending at least. And then
yeah, it's he never went to school. That's quite interesting. He
Yeah.
started so young.
yeah,
It's definitely paid off for him, but it's quite a sacrifice.
yeah, absolutely. Kind of the opposite of Zest. So Zest got his linked a couple years ago when he went to BlizzCon. They made one for him. It's also pretty depressing. I'll save you the, if you don't want to cry today, don't watch that one. But the gist of it is basically his father was very against him doing it, and he said he wanted him to complete school before he became a gamer, full time, and he never supported it. And he actually had passed before he saw Zest win, a championship. So it's pretty sad, but it's I think if his father was looking down on him, he would appreciate the fact that he did finish school and he worked really hard for his own goals and he made it work, and he became a champion.
I think any parent would want their kids to at least finish school before pursuing something like that.
Right.
Because it's quite a huge sacrifice, and if it doesn't
of
work out,
course.
and if it doesn't work out, you don't have a plan B. And if you
Yeah.
don't have a plan B, that can kind of suck for you.
Yeah. No, 100%.
I was watching a Nurture interview today, and he exactly as was saying, he have a plan B, yeah. So he finished IT school. So before gamers and esport didn't it wasn't big, yeah. So they didn't know it will be bigger. So it was like you said, sacrifice, yeah. So plan B is very important if you fail.
Yeah.
And he didn't fail.
Right. So, but contingency is always important. To have that backup plan, to have something you can fall back on. And it's kind of interesting. This is a little off topic, but it's kind of interesting, like to see like some of the pros, after they come back for military service, like what they've done. The ones that where we've kept in contact with, like MC was like coaching for like League of Legends. He didn't really go to military, but like after he kind of was done with StarCraft, and like I don't know if you guys know this, but like Top is going to art school right now. So when he's not streaming, he like goes to art class, and he wants to be like a cartoonist. And his drawings are super good. Like I saw it, like he had showed us one of them during his stream, it was super good. Like he can draw like really, really well. Like it's just cool. It adds like that another layer, of these players that you never knew.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of players returning, like Tager and all some of the old school guys are
Right.
starting to come back as well now that their service has ended, which is quite good for fans and teams and everyone, I guess. Back to
Yep.
Team Liquid, that's a good pickup.
Yeah.
And Tej
Go ahead.
is improving at a super fast rate as well. Like he's got that natural talent, and when he actually said he believes he can win GS, I was like, that's not gonna happen. But then when I played him on ladder, and then when I see him stream, like, well, this could possibly happen. Who knows?
Varun's like, no, not before me, man. And then you play him and like, okay, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
So, no, that's cool. It's cool to see the see them come back. I know like Polt's gonna be done here pretty soon, I think. So Polt should be coming back. Who else recently came back? There was someone else. Oh, MMA had come back. He hasn't. I feel like his MMA hasn't done anything yet, but he kind of came back, and then like the only thing that was left was like the last season of like GSL. I think that was like the only tournament that was like left. I mean, I think did he go to Home Story Cup maybe? The previous one, I can't remember.
Might have been Fantasy. Fantasy's back playing a fair bit of
Fantasy's
online
back.
tournaments.
Okay.
Yeah, that was fantasy.
But regardless, so we do have like a couple of players like coming back, some of the old school people just coming back and starting to play again. So it's super cool just to like have them here.
It's also good that they have that confidence in StarCraft and that the teams do, because like Alessandra says in the chat, it's still a risk to be a pro gamer or try streaming, anything like that. So it's good they have that confidence in StarCraft too at the moment.
Right, absolutely. One person who I'm not for sure, I'd have to look it up, but I think is DRG done now too, because I thought I saw him playing like an online tournament.
Yeah.
So he must be.
I think that was sort of a team league, and I saw him playing against Innovation. I think he beat Innovation. I'm not too sure about that.
So he must be done with military service, because I know he had left quite a while ago to go. So he must be done, or maybe he was on break. I guess I don't know. I guess we'll have to find that one out. But speaking of all these pro players, why don't we look at BlizzCon and do a little bracket preview?
Okay.
So let's see here. So we've got Group A. We've got Maru, Lambo, TY, and Neeb. This is a hard group. I think. Okay.
This is.
Let's all.
There's no group.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I would say let's all agree Maru's getting out though. Right? Do we all agree that?
That's a tough one. I think statistically, if you look at it, I think everyone's gonna be like, yeah, Maru's getting out of the group, but you never know what's gonna happen on the day.
That's true.
I think everybody have chance. Yeah, so just StarCraft. So
I think
this depends on the few things. Yeah, if you can prepare on the like this tournament, you can prepare on the players, every player. Yeah, so you can make preparation if you play in the World Championship Series. You have a few groups, and this is so hard. You have to be creativity. Yeah, to find to play against these players. So yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is easier, right? Like because they know they have this much time to like prep, right? Like they like it's not like WCS, right? Where it's like, all right, well, like maybe like 8 hours before the tournament's live, we'll give you the bracket, and you can see who you're playing. But like I think when it's like this, you really have time to like prep. Like I'm sure Lambo's working super hard against pretty much any Korean Terran that he can grab, right, to scrim against and stuff. And same with any Protoss players, I'm sure. So I'm sure they're all working like really hard to come up with something for each of their opponents, because there's a possibility, especially in this group, where literally I could see anyone almost playing anyone, right? Like for up like the winners, like going up and down. Like I think this will be like probably one of like the more difficult groups in general.
Yeah, I think if Neeb doesn't get like proxied or something,
Right.
Was it in the GSL finals? He got hit hard pretty early and didn't get his game up and running. But if he does get a chance, I think he can, take the Korean Terrans. But the format, as we mentioned, I think that slightly does advantage the Korean system of preparation and practice partners and the Jin Air guys in the team house, etc. So it'll be interesting to see how the foreigners can match that compared to their traditional, one-day tournaments, weekend tournaments sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're coming right up on this. We're only 6 days away from this starting, so it's that close. Like, it doesn't seem real, right? Like, it's like, BlizzCon's like already here. Like, it's crazy. So
I think the only thing that I really dislike about the group stages is that they're all best of three. You know, this is BlizzCon, end of the year. I think every match should be best of five because I think the better players have the chance to, even
right,
if you're down 0-2, they have the chance to come back. So that's something that I hope maybe next year we can do, like best of fives.
all the way through, like because quarters and semis are best of fives, but I get what you're saying. It would be nice if even if the playoff stage was a best of five.
Yeah, because this is the chance to, play at BlizzCon and, play on that huge stage. And I'm sure everyone wants to play on that stage.
Yeah. No, definitely. So let's do our predictions then. So I'm gonna go with my gut, and my gut says Maru and actually Neeb.
I'm going to say Maru and Lambo.
Okay. Lord, what do you think?
Yeah. Wait, give me a second. Do you hear that? Do you hear that?
Sounds like someone's being tortured.
Yeah. No. Keep calm. It's not true. Yeah. Don't torture anybody.
It's just children. It's children laughing and
Yeah.
screaming.
It's true. Yeah.
Well, I agree with you, Toast. I think Maru and Neeb will probably get out.
Yeah. I think TY could definitely get out, but I don't know. It depends on how Neeb's playing, right? Like, I think that's the most determining thing is if, what Neeb's got and stored, and then just who he plays, right? Like, if Neeb, because right now, here's how I see it. I see Maru beating Lambo, going into the winners. I see TY, I see Neeb beating TY perhaps, but then maybe losing to Maru and then having to play TY again for the up and down. So that's kind of what I think. But Lord, what are your picks here?
And the group A?
Yeah. So
Maru for sure, I think. For me.
okay.
And TY,
Maru,
I think.
TY. Okay. Just going with the Koreans. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
And then for Group B, let's take a look here. For Group B, we've got Zest, Hero Marine, SOS, and Serral. So that's another pretty tough group.
Yeah.
I think Zest gets out though.
And Sorrel,
No
I
bias
think.
here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Zest Serral. I mean that's my hope at least, and I hope Zest gets out first. So I mean we'll see, but I don't know. It's gonna be tough. I think it's really gonna be really really tough.
My
SOS
predictions
has
are
looked really good.
Serral and SOS.
Ooh, I don't know. I think you're right. That I think what you're right about Vern is I think it'll probably come down to a PvP though for that second spot. So I think it's whoever's got the better PvP is gonna get through. So
I actually didn't see this. I feel SOS is playing Serral in the first match, so
right.
SOS is known for doing really crazy stuff. So Serral has to be really careful against that.
Right. See, ideally for Zest, right? This is Zest beats Hero Marine, goes to the winners. SOS somehow beats Serral, right? Doing something weird, and then Zest beats SOS to get out in first place. That'd be ideal. That would be probably the easiest route for Zest. The harder route is he loses to Hero Marine somehow, and then goes into the losers match, and then has to fight his way up. That would be like the worst possible scenario.
Yeah, I have this feeling in my gut that Hero Marine can win, but even if he does win, he has to go through SOS and Serral, and I don't think that's going to be easy for him at all.
No, that's a really hard group for Gabe. I don't know. Lord, what do you think? What are your predictions?
Yeah, like you said, I think Sorrel is pretty good last times. In this year, of whole year, he was the best, I think. Yeah, for sure. And to Europe, even in Korea, he was beating the best players, so he have a lot of chance, a big chance to leave. Hero Marine, I don't think so. He will beat them.
Yeah.
So Sorrel and Zest, yeah.
Okay, great. Eddie?
Serral, SOS, but
SOS.
it is so hard, the group.
Okay, so 2 of us for Serral Zest and 2 for Serral SOS. Okay, it's gonna be close though. I won't lie. I think that's gonna be for me the hardest series to watch. For personal reasons, but just because I feel like when Zest plays SOS, like either things get super weird super quick, like both of them are proxying each other, and it's like whoever just has like the better strategy wins, or it's like lopsided one or the other way, right? Like either like Zest will play standard, SOS will play weird and beat him, or SOS will play weird, Zest defends and then just wins. So, and they're super even. I feel like I'd have to look up what their versus record is, but I feel like it's super close too. So
Definitely. Are you going, Toast?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Sweet.
I'm actually Zest coach, so you might see me come out on stage to pretend to tell him something. Just so no, I won't do that. He'd probably kill me if I will be there, but I won't do that. He'd probably kill me. Be like, what the fuck? I can't. A, he'd be like, I can't understand you, and B, shut up.
You're like, match point. All right, time for a cannon rush. Let's do it, boys.
Yeah. Like, summon your inner Haas, please. Speaking of Haas, let's look at the next group here. Group C. We've got Stats, Haas, Dark, Showtime. Ooh. Can Haas get out of that group? I don't know.
I don't know.
Us can get out of any group.
That's true. I mean, I don't know. I want to say no, right? Like I want to say like it's probably going to be Dark Stats, but Haas is Haas. So
Wild card.
like literally, like I don't know if I can pick. I don't even know if I can pick who gets out of this group because that's so weird.
I actually think Showtime's got quite a good chance here. I'm thinking Dark Showtime.
Dark Showtime.
I don't think Dark is gonna get out of the group. I've been watching him stream, and his EVP just feels very shaky.
Yeah.
If anything, I have a lot of faith in Showtime. Showtime is very solid, and the last time he played a PvP, it was against Zest, and he schooled Zest really hard. Like he just defended everything.
Let's
Zest
not
threw
talk
it.
about that. That never
Sorry.
That was a dream room. That never happened. Okay.
So in my head, I'm thinking Showtime and Stats.
It could be. I mean, the benefit of this group, right, is you only have to practice for one race, right? Like you just gotta.
Yep.
Well, for Dark, I guess.
Well, for Dark, he only has to
Yeah.
practice EVP. So who knows? Maybe he plays really good EVP on the day.
But here's the thing, I feel like Showtime, Stats, and Haas all play way different. So like he can't like just like it's not just like he's preparing for Protoss, right? Like they all play a different style. Obviously Haas plays his own style, but you know what I mean? Like even Stats and Showtime like don't play at all the same. So I think he's really got his work cut out for him. Like he really like for that group, I feel like he needs to be watching VODs. Like he really needs to like be like on top of everything.
Yeah, I think Stats' form at the moment is a little bit up and down. We had a couple of bounties claimed on him in the Wardy Summer Championship. One of them was PvP. Petit Drogo took him down 2-1, and he picked up a $50 bounty. And I think it was Rayna also. Yeah, that was ZVP.
The Spaghetti Boy. Gotcha.
So, yeah, it's going to be interesting.
I don't know. Okay, so for this one, then I'm gonna say, okay, I'm gonna go this. I'm gonna say Haas, Showtime get out. I'm gonna say both Koreans are eliminated. I'm gonna go total wild card dark horse on this group. Demi, what do you think?
I'm gonna go with Showtime and Stats.
Showtime Stats. Okay, Eddie.
Showtime Dark.
Showtime Dark. Okay, Lord.
Showtime and Stats, in my opinion.
Okay. No, none of you believe in Haas, eh? I don't know.
But I wish I would like to see a Haas how will lead the group, and maybe he will start playing a macro every game and do the surprise, and you know.
Come on, stop.
With that said, I wouldn't be surprised if like Stats won the whole tournament. He's capable of it, so you know.
I don't know. If this is that's a tough group. It's it's BlizzCon. They're all hard groups, right? So let's look at Group D here. We've got Classic, Nurchio, Rogue, and Special. So this is another one where I'm just kind of like, this is, I don't know.
I think Classic makes it out as first. I'm pretty sure about that.
Classic
I
played
think Class-
super solid all year. Like this was like a good
Yeah.
year for Classic. He had very solid finishes all year long. I think what was his rank overall? I wonder. I need to look here.
He was ranked 2
Rank
behind
2.
Maru.
Okay. So yeah, played well all season long. So yeah, I'm pretty confident in Classic right now. So then it really just comes to I'll be honest, I don't think Nerd goes through.
I don't think he goes through either. I think if Special really brings his A game, he's gonna knock out Rogue. I think Rogue the last series Rogue played, it felt like, he had a really good mid game, but then his brain kind of turned off when he got to the late game, when he got to high tech, because he made units. I think it was against Maru or something in the GSL Super Tournament where Maru 3-0'd Rogue. Or was it some other Terran?
No, I think that was Super Tournament.
Yeah, and basically Maru knows exactly how Rogue played. And this literally was triggering to me because Maru has this very ultra army. And the one thing that's bad against that is Broodlords. Like, Broodlords just destroy it, and it really confuses me why Koreans still go for ultras when you can just make Broodlords.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say Classic and Special. I really want to see Special make round of 8. I think he's more than capable of getting a round of 8, and he deserves it.
I think that would be pretty hype. I like Juanito. I always spam the Dorito in chat.
Spam this Dorito to help Juanito.
Yeah, we chant that at every tournament. That he plays at. I don't know. I definitely I agree. I think Classic. I'm gonna say Rogue though. I think it depends because I see maybe what'll happen is Special might beat Rogue the first time, right? And then he'll go into the up and downs. But then I think he'll have to play him again for the losers. For the second place position. And then I think that's what it'll really come down to. So even if he's able to beat him one time, he'll have to do it twice. So.
I think Special and Classic. Side note, it was recently posted this week that Special bought his mother a house, so that's quite a nice touch. So pro gamers can get it done. Nice work by him there.
Absolutely, that's just like a great story, right? Like that's like one of those things where it's like, well, what are you gonna do? And it's just like, oh, I'm gonna buy my mom a house, and he was able to make it that work. So I think that's awesome. So I think it would be really special. It would be very special to see Special go on.
Sick pun.
Right. Those are Ravi level. Lord, what do you think?
Rogue and Classic was finalists of Inter-Extreme Master in Poland, so I think they can leave a group. But my heart is for Nurture because I cannot betray my country. Yeah, so
right.
I hope Nurture will leave this group, and I believe so much. And from the second place maybe, and I think it will be Rogue and Nurture.
Okay, fair. So we'll have to check. Like I said, we're 6 and 7 days away. So exactly 1 week from today, we'll have Group A and B, and then on Sunday, the next day on Sunday, we'll have Group C and D, and then we'll get to see, and then we'll see the seeded bracket, right? And then we'll be able to make those next predictions to see who plays who, because that's when it really gets hairy, right? Like then this you can kind of prep for a little bit more, but once you go into those group finals, things get a little trickier to plan for. But they are best of fives, like Varun likes, so there'll be more opportunity to show some different strategies and maybe to show off some different things that you have planned.
Awesome. They haven't officially announced the casters yet, have they? I've seen on Twitter In Control and Pig did like a short little phone recording saying that they'll be there, which is a different take than previous years with the big graphic announcements and stuff. So maybe that'll come out in the next couple of days. I'm sure all the big names will be there hyping it up. So looking forward to that.
Speaking of that, I would like to announce officially that I won't be casting. So thankfully, you don't have to worry about that.
Just pack a suit just in case. You never know who might be
Right?
delayed with the flights.
Someone might get sick, and I'll be like, I got a suit. I'm ready to go. Okay, like let's do it. It's fitted too, so it won't look weird. That's okay. Side note: I hate when casters wear suits that are not like they don't fit properly. Like it's like too big for them or whatever. Like it just looks awful. Like, get them a goddamn fitted shirt. Like, how long have you had to prepare for this? Like, get them something that's fitted. Or if you know that you're going to do this, like, get yourself a fitted suit. Because if you don't, you will look like shit. Like, it's not hard stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, rant over. Sorry. Other stuff coming up. Oh, we have the Maturino Grand Celebratory Cup. Eddie, why don't you tell us more?
Yeah, so the OSC League just earlier this month passed 1,000 events through Maturino. Quite a big milestone. Really happy to have been working with them and all our partners over the last 2 years. So we're going to run a tournament to celebrate that, just a $1,000 cup. Same sort of format as our $1,000 Masters Cups, if you're familiar with that. So we've got a few qualifiers. SSL group stage, which is best of 2 6-player groups, and then we have the 2-day playoffs. So yeah, quite exciting. I think it's a great achievement by all involved. Maturino have done a lot for StarCraft, and they're constantly improving the platform through, things like rewards and follow campaigns, and just improving the site and the features. A big thing, like as an organizer, is they've done the clone feature, so we do so many tournaments through there. That's a lifesaver now. So fantastic work. They're a great company to be associated with, and looking forward to this event.
Definitely. And then we've also got the Battle of America's coming up, right? North America versus Latin America.
This is OSC News and Highlights exclusive. It hasn't been announced yet. It will be probably in the next 24 hours. We're running another special event. As you mentioned, it's going to be called Battle of America's NA versus LA. So North America, Latin America. And as implied, it's going to match up the top players from North America versus the Latin American players. So it's going to be for a few $1,000s. It's going to be
Who can we look to see in this? Do we know yet?
No, players are going to be revealed probably one a day.
One a day, okay.
We've commissioned player portraits to be drawn up, so we're going to be releasing that building up to it.
Okay.
It's going to be a double elimination bracket stretched over about 6 to 8 weeks with 2 broadcasts per week. We have Tempo and Fear Dragon casting in English, and Jim Rising in Spanish, and probably working with Portuguese community streamers as well. There's going to be 8 invites for each region. They're just about all locked in now, and 2 qualifiers. So we're going to be running 2 qualifiers, top place of each qualifies 2. And they'll have portraits commissioned as well. We might be able to do some fun merchandising like T-shirts and things like that. So it's just about building a bit of a friendly rivalry and a fun event leading towards the end of the year. America and Latin America have been a huge OSC region for the last few years. America is number 1 in participation, like Canada's top 5, Mexico, Brazil, they're really high up there. They've got huge player bases and fan bases. So yeah, it's going to be a fun event, I think. Awesome. More information to come, but yeah, I think it's going to be pretty cool.
Awesome. Then I know we also have our OSC Team Championship coming up. That's ongoing. We have when do the playoffs start?
Playoffs will be after the Player Championship, so likely to start about February next year.
Okay.
So the season still has October's rankings, November, December to play out. So teams are still fighting for that sort of top seeding and where they're going to sit in the playoffs. If you're unfamiliar with how the Team Championship works, it's based off players participating in OSC events. They get points for that, and they get points for where they're ranked at the end of each month, and that gets added to a team's total. however many players the teams have, obviously they earn more points, which is good because they're supporting more StarCraft players. And then over the season, points added up each month, obviously, and rankings based off of that, and then it forms a playoffs at the end. So we give out prizes for season placement as well as the head-to-head playoffs, and we have a nice trophy given out to the winner, which last year was Exceed Esports. So it's quite a cool little mini team-based championship that we run. We've got 8 registered teams at the moment. Still need to chase up a couple of teams. Scythe Esports still not signed up, but it should be quite a good playoffs bracket when we get there, obviously.
I'll get to it eventually. Just been busy, that's all. But we do have the top 10 here right now. Team Blazer currently in 10th, so currently qualifying for that. So adding Bunny to the team there will definitely help out with that.
I think so.
And then Eddie, I don't know if you mentioned, but guys, you don't need to necessarily win to get OSC points for these. You just need to show it's participation as well.
Yeah, well, for any player, pro player, amateur, casual player, if you play in an OSC tournament, you earn participation points, which is 2.5 OSC points towards your ranking in the database. And that also counts towards other prizes we do. We do cash prizes in a lottery every 6 months, and we do the big your choice of flight, accommodation, and entry to any StarCraft event of your choosing around the world if you win first place. So just by playing in OSC tournaments, you're a chance to win that. And obviously, the league where it's at now, it's a $100,000 to $200,000 league. The pro players have countless tournaments to play in, and teams have access to endless amounts of data to promote the players, and there's always something happening. So if you want to take the next step from being an amateur to maybe a rookie or a pro player, we're sort of that platform that players can take. There's always something happening at OSC.
Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff coming up. So looking forward to competing in that. That'll be that's always fun to watch. I really enjoyed watching last year's event, so it's always one to look forward to.
Yeah, I'm quite pleased with the structure of the playoffs we have as well. Obviously, the seeding of the bracket, but more so that we have a combination of All Kill and Pro League. So you get to see a few players of each team play and how the points line up that way. It makes for an exciting match.
Yeah, definitely. We do have our end of the month stats for September that we'll take a peek at here real quick. So here we kind of have just some awards. So it looks like we have most tournaments played. So Star Killer with 133. That's crazy. Most tournaments won is Solar with 27, with Chammy Boy right behind with 24. Ooh, top 50 race breakdown. A lot of Zerg in that. Imagine that.
Zerg always leading the way.
Yep. Number of bounties. Look at all the bounties, guys. Look at all the money that you're not getting by not playing in OSC tournaments.
Yeah, we'll cover bounties a little bit later, but we're actually up to 89 for the year now, and we've passed all-time over $12,000 in bounties, which is nice just for one of those little prizes that we run ongoing.
Crazy.
And look at Cham's series win rate, 82% from 158 series. Quite impressive. Definitely. Some nice bounties there. Jim Rising, Rail over Solar, who's in pretty good nick at the moment. Yeah, a lot of players with tournament wins.
Yeah, Solar going down a lot there.
Yeah, well, he plays so much, obviously, doesn't he? 191 series. He's won 27 tournaments. More, I think, as this was just at the end of September. We're now 3 weeks into October, so there's been more tournaments added, obviously, every day, multiple tournaments. So, yeah, this was as of 3 weeks ago.
Damn. So a lot of good results there.
I have 2% of my battery, so probably I will see my tablet will be off. So thank you so much. Thank you for the invitation.
Yeah, thanks, Lord, for joining us. Do you want to give any shout outs real quick?
Check out. What do you mean?
Shout outs? Like, where can everyone follow you at? Like, where can they find you?
Twitter, website.
All right. All right. So LordTv. So goodbye.
Bye, Lord.
See ya.
See ya.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I am dead.
Rip.
Rest in peace, Lord. Rest in peace. Anyway, that's okay. We'll just continue on. It was great to have him join us, though. Just really cool. Running that organization and now the team. So working on different stuff is always exciting.
Yeah, doing great work over there in Poland and Europe. It's great that he's now taking that to the next level with the team as well. So
Right.
Good stuff.
All right, give me just 1 second here to fix our cameras here real quick since we've lost him. What's our next topic here, Eddie?
We can talk about a couple of players just bringing up milestone of 100 tournaments played. One of them was Vivid, the Australian player from OSC Elite. Great achievement. And just the other day, actually a Polish player, Blue is his ID, has passed 100 tournaments as well.
Nice.
And these guys now feature on the league's Hall of Fame, which is records from 6 years. We'll see Demi's name there a few times. He's a regular at racking up tournaments and tournament wins. And yeah, if you want to have a quick look at that, there's some very impressive individual achievements across the year. So, yeah. Any thoughts on Vivid, Demi, as a teammate, how he's come along this year?
I think he's been really improving. Like every time I play him, I feel like it's a bit harder than before. And one thing I want to touch up on is that I think he beat Pig at the LAN.
He did.
That's pretty amazing, honestly.
Yeah, and I think he went
like,
close in a series versus Igers as well.
Like if someone asked me Pig versus Vivid, I would favor Pig because Pig is the more experienced player, and I also would say Pig is better. But it's ZVZ, and I'm happy to see Vivid take a series of Pig.
Yeah, Pig with the LAN experience would be a big factor there. So it was a really good run by Vivid. We mentioned it earlier in the show. He came 9th in that Sydney Stimpack tournament, that hut run. So it was great for him there. And he's on track to become one of the top Australians ever with tournaments played. He's currently 4th, and that's going to be probably climbing over the next 2 months left in the year because he's an absolute machine. He's now actually at 107.
He's an actual grinder. He grinds a lot of tournaments.
And I think that might be a big factor of his improvement, obviously, with the OSC access to a lot of players worldwide, different strategies, a lot of high-level players as well. So it's a great platform to improve.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. So just wanted to show everyone here those rankings here real quick. It looks like we still have Solar sitting on top there, followed by Guru Chamblai and Jim Rising to round up the top five, with Demi fighting up there for number 7. So getting pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, excellent. It's always great to see. Like my favorite thing about this page is not only just all the great stats, but I like to look at the country, and then this series win rate. I think that's like one of the coolest facts on there.
Yeah, it really is a global league now, OSC, as we've sort of grown over the last few years to become more worldwide.
Absolutely.
And we're talking the best players and the hardest working players. Obviously, through tournament wins and tournament participation, it's a great balance, and it's a great platform for players to use.
Absolutely. Just to mention some of our recent tournament winners, Sentimentino Latino. We had Eric win, which I don't know if that's his first championship, but yeah, I like that. There's been a lot of different winners. Jim's won that a couple times. Eggs won that a couple times. Cham's won it a couple times. So I like that it's very competitive. It's not just like one person winning each time.
Yeah, this was actually the last Latino for the year,
Right.
because we're going to be running the NA versus LA Battle of Americas. But I think it's been fairly successful.
Absolutely.
Jim Rising has won a stack of it, but there's a really good mix of maybe the next 6 to 8 guys that have picked up a few cups each, and sort of mixing up who's second, who's third, that sort of thing. So it's been really good. Big thanks to Darking for adminning a lot of the cups.
Right.
Just Jordan was the regular caster bar the last few weeks. So it's just a really good community event for Latin America, I think, and we'll bring it back. Look to bring it back next year.
Yeah, absolutely. But here's just a shot of most of our recent winners here. So, Euthermal winning the Blazer Open number 7. All Star 62 Namshar Spear winning Proxy Timbers Open. A Rainer winning out of the Masters Cup Kung Fu Weekly by Gumiho, and so on and so forth. So, good mix there. I like that, again, we're seeing multiple players taking multiple different cups. So, very competitive. I think that's like my most favorite thing about StarCraft, though, is just to show, like, anyone can really beat anyone, which is true, especially when we look at these bounties and who some of these bounties have been claimed on as of recently.
Yeah, and these latest results and indeed latest bounties are updated on SC2 Online, your home port for OSC, really. So if you want to check on that daily, that's the place to go.
Yeah, the home base, as it were. But to go over some of these bounties, it looks like Demaga was able to take a bounty off of Cham in a 2-0. Denver, who played amazingly in the LordTv Summer Finals, took a bounty off of Zest 3-2. Also took a bounty off of Rogue 3-2 in a reverse. And then also beat Impact 2-1. Drogo beat Stats 2-1. Euthermal beating Rogue 2-1. Rainer beating Stats 2-0. Cham beating Mana 2-1. Goblin beating Solar 2-1. Time beating Gumiho 2-0. Vanya beating Cham 2-0. B beating Cham 2-1. And then Future taking out True 2-0.
Quite a lot of bounties taken out on Cham.
Yeah. You're right.
And I think particularly ZVZ, he's got quite a few taken against him.
Yeah.
Might be his weakness at the moment, Toast, but that's also because some of these guys like Cham and Solar, that they do play so much that you can take them down more often. And like Denver picking up those 3 bounties in one tournament, quite a nice little payday, a breakout tournament there. He came second place, I believe. So
not only got paid from the tournament, but through the bounty. So
always ways to win.
So is BlizzCon OSC? No, I was kidding. OSC partner. We're giving
Sadly,
OSC points?
it is not. We don't do LAN events, but I'm sure those guys won't be short of $1 for playing in that tournament.
No, you're right. I think it's 14,000 just for showing up.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing, honestly. $14 even if you go for, that's pretty sick.
Right? Yeah, they paid for everything, and then you're get paid even if you lose. So
I think another thing with these bounties, just looking at this list, what's good for StarCraft is I see names like Future, Goblin, Rainer, these young guys taking down like big tournament champions like, Stats, True, Solar. I think that's a really impressive feat in a series, obviously best of 3 plus often best of 5 series. So these guys are rapidly improving.
Absolutely.
Maybe BlizzCon next year.
Yeah, you never know. I think Rainer is definitely going to get BlizzCon next year. Assuming there is a BlizzCon. No, I'm just kidding. There will be. I'm confident. But yeah, I think Rainer, is someone that we'll definitely see. Denver, maybe even. Like, damn. I'd like to see him. He's really starting to make a breakout because I think it was. I don't know what it was with LordTv Summer League, but just really showing up. So I'm excited to watch some of his future games.
Yeah, that was an absolute beast.
Yeah, he gave them an absolute beat down. But yeah.
And I think not to take anything away from him, but you would sort of say he's a middle of the pack top GM player in Europe, right? They've got so many of these guys now that you could almost make a top 8 BlizzCon of just European Zergs.
Yeah,
it's really great to show the depth and strength of the foreign scene, particularly in Europe at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, not to take anything away because obviously he is he is like really good, like, but yeah, just really showing up as of late and really showing off. Maybe he is starting to pull ahead in that pack. Maybe he's starting to come up in the ranks of the Europeans.
Yeah, he may be the Lambo of 2019. Lambo sort of had that breakout year this year on the back of some late results in 2017, which is good for him, and maybe Denver's the next one.
Yeah, could be. I think that pretty much brings us to the end of the show. Do we have any community questions this time around?
None prepared earlier. If anyone wants to ask something quickly in the chat, we can answer that.
All right, yeah. If any of you guys have any quick questions here for us before we head out. Otherwise, it was great to talk with you guys. It was good to get an episode in here before BlizzCon. It was nice to be able to kind of hype up these finals. So I'm pretty excited to watch them. Like
Me too.
For,
yeah, I'm pretty excited. I can't believe it's we're almost a week away.
Yeah.
Or less than a week away.
Yeah, well,
BlizzCon's gonna be hype.
Yeah, 100%. I'm just so ready for it to be here. I'm ready to get out there myself. I'm just so ready. Oof.
Okay, we've got a question from Mia Micah. How can you hire both Cham and Zest Toast? Trang said you're a millionaire.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys not just get a pretty cool sponsor, Toast? What's the deal there?
Yeah, so we've got some sponsors that just haven't been made public yet. We're still just nailing down nitty gritty and some of that kind of stuff, for details and everything. So there'll be some announcements coming here sooner or later. I don't know whenever the lawyers decide that the paperwork is sufficient, basically. But yeah, we do have a sponsor in the Beard Club. So they offer great beard products. If you're like me and you're a bearded fellow and you want to keep it clean, want to keep it looking good, you got to moisturize. There's a lot of stuff that goes into maintaining a beard well. Using shampoo and conditioner and putting stuff in it so that your face doesn't get fucked up underneath, making sure you're moisturizing it, making sure your skin doesn't get dried out. So it's a pretty cool sponsor, actually. So, and there's not really anyone like them in esports right now. They're really the first to start, in that market to sponsor esports. So it's a pretty cool partnership.
Indeed. I think the big question people want to know, Toast, is are we going to see Zest with a beard for BlizzCon?
I don't think he can grow one. I mean, I might be able to hook him up with a fakie, we could put a fake one on him, but no, I don't think he can grow a beard. I think the only Korean I've ever seen with a beard is Larva.
Well, he'll just have to rely upon his good looks then.
Yeah.
Every time I try growing a beard, my mother tells me I look like a homeless person.
Yeah, you just gotta get over that though, Varun. I mean, ladies, maybe your mom doesn't like it, but all the other ladies love beards. Let me tell you, they like to touch it. I get my face gets touched way more now than it ever has before. Now that I really have some length going, people just want to touch it, and then that's a great conversation starter. You're a young man. Maybe you can meet some ladies that way.
Who knows?
At DreamHack Mumbai.
Exactly.
I doubt that's gonna happen, but oh well.
Yeah, there'll be ladies there, right? One or two.
Maybe.
You gotta see. That's the thing. You gotta set yourself apart, Varun. We gotta be different. So, could be.
You can style your OSC Elite jacket. They look pretty good. No doubt, get all the ladies.
Yeah.
Hope so.
So here
was there was a question about SC AI. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Well, there's that ProBots tournament that ES Champ hosts. I haven't watched it, but I watched some highlights from it, so that seems pretty cool. What was the deal with oh my god, I'm totally blacking out right now. Cats. What was the deal with that AI thing that he was on? Is that an actual thing, or is that just a person that's pretending to be a computer? What's the
I'm pretty sure that's a person pretending to be a computer. That maybe she's a really good actress.
Well, it's weird because I saw some video, and it looked like her, without hair, and it had just the open head and shit, and it showed all the circuitry. And I'm wondering if that's not the same thing. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But it was it was weird regardless. I don't know what was going on, but I think AI. I think okay. Okay, she was awful. Okay, gotcha. But yeah, but anyway, getting to StarCraft 2 AI, from what I've seen from that ProBots tournament, they're actually getting pretty sophisticated. Like they're actually able to come up with like follow some build orders and adapt a little bit. So I think that's pretty cool. But I haven't heard anything like on DeepMind or anything like that as of late. So it would be interesting to see where that's at.
Deep Mind's an interesting one. I haven't actually seen this ESG ProBots. I've been watching a lot of their other content. They do some great interviews lately. One with Demi we mentioned earlier, and tournament organisers the other week, which I missed out on. I was actually invited, but busy. They do some great stuff. But yeah, Deep Mind is a very interesting one, I think.
I think at the current state that there's still no way that's going to beat a player. I mean, even if it's like not a good player, I don't think it's there yet. And I don't know. There's so much that goes into StarCraft that I think it's really hard until we see like what it's capable of to decide whether or not it could beat a person or not. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I've been losing to the hard AI for years. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Just kidding.
Innovation 2.0.exe. That's the real Deep Mind. It's been playing
the original
for years.
machine.
Yeah. But yeah, if we have any other questions, we'll take them here. Otherwise, we'll head out. If you guys have anything else.
No, just that we're going to be announcing more details on that upcoming Latin America versus North American series and releasing the invites for that over the coming few days and weeks. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Hopefully,
I think one of my players is going to that.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not going to reveal yet, but look out for a photo.
I mean, I have players in that region.
Yeah, indeed you do.
Maybe.
Cham and Eggs has done really well in the Sentimentino Latino, actually, that we talked about just before. So he's another one.
Anyone want to give a good prediction of SC2 in the future? I think we're going to see WCS up until for sure for 2020. That's my prediction. Pretty sure we're going to find that out this year.
I think the only real issue is if another RTS comes out to rival it, that might take away some of the player base and viewership, at least short term. But it doesn't seem like game companies are investing into the genre at the moment.
Every time I see an RTS, it's like super half-assed. And it's like not like, I don't know, like there was like an interesting one that I was reading about that was like, I don't know, it was like something like, it was like kind of like a steampunk theme. It seemed kind of cool. It had like mechs and stuff, like these like diesel mechs. And it was interesting, but like, and it was like a Kickstarter that like had like, you know, got all the funding for it. But then in there, it's like, if you hate being like Zerg rushed, you'll appreciate this like RTS. And it's like, okay, so take out like the real time part of like RTS, like just a time and strategy game, like, you know, like I think it was like turn based or something, like I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think also the longer StarCraft 2 runs competitively, the longer it will become accepted as a sport, like with history and players, new players coming in and heroes and stuff like that. Like we've had 6-7 years of data now for OSC and rankings and records, etc. And WCS system is a couple of years underway now, and just a lot of good talent coming through as well. So
absolutely,
I think I can't see StarCraft going anywhere personally, and from a business side as well.
Yeah, someday Blizzard and Activision will have to decide between StarCraft 3 and Warcraft 4 if they'll make Warcraft 4. I think honestly Warcraft 4 is probably more likely. I think that's really the only company that's going to rival, you know, Blizzard in an RTS is Blizzard. So if they do decide to make a Warcraft 4, you know, whatever, I think that would rival obviously StarCraft 2, and I think we would see some changeover. But I don't think it'd be bad because it's like it's different. You know, it's almost Warcraft 3 is almost MOBA-esque with like more like with like I think it's like the champion heroes or something. I'm not a Warcraft 3 person. Like I played it, but like I was also like dumb and little when I played it, so I didn't understand it that good. But you have like your army, but then you also have like a leader, right? Like who has got like these abilities and stuff. That's more like a MOBA. So it's kind of like it's like a combination of like a MOBA and like an RTS. So I don't think it would take away necessarily, but it would be interesting. I would like to see it.
Just following the chat conversation, I think in Korea it's more of an issue for players coming through. Overall, in foreign StarCraft, I guess WCS system and OSC, we've seen steady growth in player numbers, and even this year we've passed last year's total, and we're in October now. And the young talent coming through, we've mentioned some of the players already. So there is more players. It's free to play. My concern would be in Korea. I think, yes, I do agree that it's doesn't have the same growth as externally, but that's something that Blizzard could work on, or we can work on as well. So
yeah,
we'll see.
I mean, there are Korean players that like we don't like that aren't on like our radar, because they're not qualifying for GSL, but they're still there. Like Dandy, who's on Root and stuff. Emotion qualified like last season for GSL, or like maybe it was season 2. Like only made it to the round of 32, but that's like a name that we had not seen before. So I mean, there are players that are still playing and attempting to get in there. You have like Spear who plays for like Dust and stuff. So there are definitely players,
Yeah, there definitely are. We've had 80 unique Korean players play OSC this year. And there's guys like maybe not household names or even code A names, but players like Dominic CK or something in the Blazer Open. He took down Mana and a few of these guys. He's a regular participant and performs quite well. So there are a few individuals, but yes, I do think there is a problem for growth in Korea.
I mean, we'll see as people. I think we'll start to notice it more here now, like as like we have like players retiring from military service. So because there will be like a certain percentage that don't come back, right? And so there will be some of those opportunities for some of those guys to come up and for them to like get more practice and stuff. So I think in the next coming year or two, we'll see more and more of them and get introduced to more and more of them.
I think the thing in Korea for a lot of the up and coming players is that they have no platform to showcase their talent, because the only platform they have for showcasing their talent are like GSL. Of course, you have these online tournaments and all that is fine, but GSL is the big thing there. So if they've got nothing to showcase their talent, like a big stage to showcase their talent on, it's really difficult.
Like a challenger for Korea.
Yeah.
Formerly Code A.
Like I was thinking if they could give like a couple of spots to the Korean amateurs. Like right now, GSL has 32 spots. Maybe like -8 spots and give those to the up and coming players. Like I'm sure a lot of people would be against it, but I think it'd be good for the up and comers to give them a chance of how it would be.
Yeah. No, I could see that. I mean, I think it just depends on because like the viewership is still good, right? Like the viewership and the attendance and everything is like still good for Korea. So like I don't think they're like in a hurry. I think if things start to take a dip, that might be something that they that they could possibly introduce through Blizzard. But I think for the time being, they're just kind of biding their time, and as long as things are not getting worse, they're just kind of happy with where it's at, Because there's still good players that are just not qualifying anymore. Like Liquid Hero, former Liquid Hero, like tries to play every qualifier and like unfortunately just doesn't make it. So they're still like good people, like big names that are like I don't think MMA made it either last time. So like there's still these good names that are still trying to get into it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Do we have anything else here? Eddie, do you see anything?
No, just thanks for the engagement and discussion in chat.
Yeah, appreciate
guys.
you guys. Make sure to submit questions for next time. We'll do an announcement, a couple days before we have the next show. So if you have things that you want to bring up about OSC or in general you want to ask and want opinions on, just submit those.
Yeah, a great place to do so is our community Discord, which you can find. We maybe have a command here, but on SC2 Online, it's linked there, or just Twitter engagement. We'll always reply back to you.
There we go. All right, well, I think that's all for us then. So, Eddie, thanks for joining me. Varun, thank you. Lord, I know you already left, but appreciate you joining us. So, yeah, we'll see you guys after BlizzCon, and maybe we'll have another chat then.
Sounds good. Thanks very much, guys. See you later.
Thanks.
Alrighty.
Thanks for having me. See ya.
See ya.